What is going on, everybody? It is your boy TJWars22, and today I'm going to be helping out newer players who are having trouble getting into Nightmare or Hell difficulty. So just real quick, if you are an experienced player, this is not going to be for you. This is going to be for the newer player coming back from Diablo 2, or maybe just trying Diablo 2 out for the first time, and maybe they can't get to Nightmare, maybe they can't get to Hell. I get asked this constantly. Both of these will work. These tips will pretty much work for both, but I'll try to do a little bit more specific as I go along. So probably the most important thing is going to be your level and your gear, okay? Your level for normal, there's no reason that you shouldn't be able to beat it by level 25, 30, 35. If you really want to be super safe, 40, which I don't particularly recommend 40. But if it's your first time, that's fine, right? So let's look into some of the gear, okay? First, we're going to start off with the armor. You're going to absolutely need, at a very minimum, is this rune word, okay? This is called Stealth, Tal, and Ethrune. This is amazing, especially early on in the game. You only have to be like level 17, I do believe. Yours is going to look a little bit different than mine. I have a little bit better dust shroud than what you'll have, but that's fine. Just put it in something that is white. Everything has to be white for rune words, meaning, right, if you look at the name, it says Stealth and it's white. If it's blue, it will not work, right? If it's magical, if it's rare, blah, 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 don't put that in there. You have to make sure that you put it, all these items, okay? I'm not going to keep saying this, have to be in white items for rune words, okay? So this is super amazing. You got 25% faster run, 25% faster cast rate, 25% faster hit recovery. Hit recovery is going to be when they attack you. Basically, if you get locked into hit recovery, you won't be able to move. So you want a little bit more hit recovery. You want to stack that throughout all your items. But that's just the very base right there. Okay, at some point, I recommend getting wealth. Okay, this is very inexpensive. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to have this, at least by, you know, doing some bail runs or doing your Hellforge, which is the first quest in Act 4. I think you can get this fairly easy, definitely by the time you're in Nightmare at some point. Now, why do I recommend this? 100% Magic Find. I personally think that Wealth Rune Word is the most underrated rune word in the entire game, because what a lot of people will do is they'll get like 3 perfect topaz and put it in armor, okay? And what does that do for you? It really doesn't do much except for the Magic Find. So why not only get more Magic Find in your armor, but also get another 300% extra gold, increased maximum durability, which isn't a huge deal, but it's something, right? It's for free. 2 to mana after each kill. It's free. Why not do it, right? So if you can avoid getting the topazes and armor, then I would definitely say move up to wealth, because that's freaking awesome. That's similar to a Scolders, which Scolders is amazing, especially for magic finding, but this is kind of like the broke man Scolders. Definitely want to get that. Moving on to the armor, this is probably the best armor that you're going to want to get at a lower level, okay? Viper Magi. Now, how can you get a Viper Magi? And moving on to the rest of these items, how can you get all these better items over on this side? Well, I would recommend, if you're having trouble getting into Nightmare, then to start doing bail runs over and over, or chaos runs, which are in Act 4. But you should be able to push through normal, to be honest with you. So you're probably going to have more trouble actually defeating Nightmare in general. So if you're having trouble defeating Nightmare, I would say go to Andy in Act 1 and keep grinding her out. And you should, without an issue, Nightmare Andy, eventually be able to get a Viper Magi, and then you'll be able to get some of these good Helms as well. Again, here's some perfect topazes. You're going to want at least, I'd say minimum of 100 Magic Find, but upwards of 200. I don't think you really need to get past 250. If you can, great, but you probably won't need to, and you probably won't be strong enough. Okay, so here's just some of the other Helms that you may find along your way that will be useful. I'm not saying you have to get these items, but it'll be helpful. Tarn Helm, okay, 39% Magic Find. It can vary. I believe it's from 30 to 40. Correct me if I'm wrong on that in the comment section below. And then this is something that you're going to want to find, is a Tal Rasha's Helm. Maybe you won't find it on Andy, but you can find it in Andy and Nightmare. You can find Stody Jordan there. You can find Tal Rasha's amulet, but you know, it'd be great for you to find this helm. Moving on to the gloves, you will find these if you do enough runs. Frost Burns, okay, these are amazing. 40% maximum mana. Chances, which is even more Magic Find, so if you could use that, that'd be amazing. 30 to 40 Magic Find, depending on what you get. 200% extra gold. Mage Fist, 1 to fire skills, 20% faster cast rate, regeneration mana 25%. You'll find one of these 3, trust me. If you do enough Endarial, you'll get it, okay? Especially if you can do it at a higher players count and you have that magic find. Make sure that you bug Endario. I'm not going to teach you how to do that in this video. You can check out other videos that I've made or other people have made, but definitely you're going to have to want to make sure that you have bugged Endario for the quest. Your drops will be 3 times, 4 times better than they ever were. Trust me on that. So next up is going to be the shields. Your ultimate shield that you want is Spirit Monarch, a 4 open socket spirited monarch, okay? The strength is high, it's 156, keep that in mind, but this is kind of like what you absolutely want. Tau, Thol, or Am, again in a white monarch. You can use your socket quest to make that 4 socket if you want. It'll always become 4 socketed. Now, if you can't afford that, which is totally fine, you could start off with maybe an Ancient's Pledge. It's Ral or in Tau. Now you can get all these runes, okay, from Act 5 doing the quest. I believe it's the second quest, it's not the Frigid Highlands quest where you free them. Or no, it's freeing the barbs. I'm sorry. So that might be the third. It's one of the ones where you save the barb. That's all I'm trying to say. They will give you all these runes right here in Act 5, and then you can put in any 3 open socket shield, and you have an Ancient's Plagues. Your resistance is going to be huge in Nightmare, I'm telling you, and even more important in Hell. Okay, so you're going to want some kind of resistance until you can find better items. What are some better items? Lidless is a better item. You can find this either Mephisto or Endariel in Nightmare. You should be able to find this eventually. Again, you don't want to just grind it out for one specific item, but if you can find one of these items in one of these columns, you'll be good to go. Okay, 1 to all skills, 20% faster cast rate, maximum mana 10%. It's really good. Moser's is freaking awesome. 25 to all resistance. From there, you would want to put in 2 perfect diamonds, because diamonds will give you all resistance. So if you add in all that, you will be booming as far as resistance. It's going to help you a ton, and definitely resistance again is going to be massive. For the belts, probably, you know, one of the better belts that you're going to want is the Tau Rash's belt. That's freaking really good if you combine it with the other pieces, like 3-piece set or something. Gold wrap is something you will find this eventually. Okay, it's got some great magic find, again, some gold find and everything. Moving on to like the staff and everything. Tau Rasha's crystal, if you can find it. It's going to be harder for you to find probably, but you can get it most definitely. It's not like super rare or anything. You'll find this eventually. And Alibaba, same thing. I mean, I've got so many off of Nightmare and Dario and Mephisto over and over and over. If you can get this one, man, it's a huge magic find gain right there. I've added in, you know, some extra magic find, but definitely that's going to be a big deal for you. A Whiz Spike, not very difficult to find. 75 to all resistance, 50% faster cast rate, regeneration mana, tons of more mana, indestructible. I mean, this is freaking amazing right here. It helps a whole lot until you can get what you really want. The same way that you use the Spirit Monarch, you can also get a Spirit Sword. Okay, and I would again recommend getting a Spirit Sword, either 4 open socket or finding it as a crystal sword in Nightmare or normal cows. Once you find that, you can use your socket quest. Bam! Now you have 4 open socket Spirit Sword, which is still really good. Okay, it's not going to give you everything the same way the shield does. I believe it does not give you 2 resistance, unfortunately, but everything else will help you so much. 2 to all skills, up to 35% faster cast rate, 55% faster hit recovery, vitality, you know, mana, everything. It's got everything you need. So the sword and the shield are freaking amazing. Going on to rings, you know, it's going to be hard for you to get like a Stone of Jordan. It is possible to get one on Nightmare and Dario. I've done it many times, but I had a lot of magic find. A Mantled is just fine. Regeneration mana, right? Again, this is when you're just trying to get through Nightmare. You're going to need mana. A Nagel is really good if you can find a Nagel, because it has that magic find. Again, depending on the situation, you're going to want more, or maybe you're going to want less on the magic find department. Getting into your Merc, okay, your Merc, if you're still in normal, you're probably not going to get a lot of this, but it's just something to keep your eye out on. First one is called G-Face. This is super OP. Everybody loves the G-Face. This thing is amazing. 30% faster hit recovery for your Merc, 35% chance of crushing blow. That's massive. 15% deadly strike, and 15 to his strength. This may not sound like a lot to like the normal person, but crushing blow, deadly strike, these kind of things are just amazing for the mercenary, man. It's gonna really do a lot more damage. Okay, Crown of Thieves. This one's amazing because it's got 11% life stolen per hit. Okay, you're always going to want as much life leech as you can get. Increased attack speed is going to help them out a lot. But if you can't find anything, you know, anything with life leech or life steal is really going to help out your mercenary. Another one would be Tau Rasha's Helm. Okay, it's not the most ideal, but it does have 10% life stole per hit. Okay, you see this one's 11 Crown of Thieves, this one's 10. If you find something with 6, use it until you can't. All right, I'm not going to show you anything worth a lot like Vamp Gaze. That's really good. Andy's Visage, that's really good, but you can't afford that, right? Because you're still trying to get to Nightmare, you're still trying to get through Hell. Now for your armor, treachery. Okay, treachery is so good, man. I love this freaking armor. Okay, and it's only a shale, thol, and a lem. It's so cheap, but it may not look like a lot to you. It says 2 to assassin skills. You're like, why would I want to use this? 45% increased attack speed. That's huge. Okay, but the biggest one there is the 5% chance to cast a level 15 fade. So what is fade? Fade is where your character becomes invisible, basically, and his immunities are crazy strong. Okay, so he will not. You know, he probably won't die most of the time. It helps him so much, and resistance are everything. Definitely gonna want to try out treachery. If you're super early in the game and you just can't afford anything, you can go with the smoke, which is 2 open socket armor. I mean, this is a neff and a lum. You can get this no problem. Trust me, you can get a neff and a lum. Definitely smoke is very good, 50 to all resistance and 20% faster hit recovery. Just little things. This will help him a lot very, very early in the game. For the weapon, I'm always going to recommend an Act 2 mercenary. I like to go with defensive because then the aura is cold and it kind of freezes everybody around him. But you need to ask yourself, do you need mana or do you need damage? So on your left is mana. This is insight. This is freaking amazing. Ralter tells soul. If you need mana for your character, this is going to do some great damage regardless. But this will help you so much. Okay, don't worry too much about the base. You know, if you can get Eth, that's way better, but don't worry too much. If you're really having troubles, you know, you can always make another one later. But if you need damage, you're gonna go with the 5 open socket obedience. This bad boy will rip the noobs. However, if you don't have enough mana, if you're like a sorceress or something, you know, which this video is pretty much for the sorceress, obedience is the way to go. Hell, Cole, Thol, Eth, Foul. Definitely, man, that thing will destroy your enemy. But again, will you be able to help him destroy? That's just something that you have to decide. Do you need more mana or do you need more damage? Definitely between insight and obedience, you will be set. All right, so I get asked a lot, how do you actually kill these bosses? That's a good question. So if you have teleport, just teleport right here on this corner, throw a town portal up just in case you die, and then go in. Now you're gonna want to use Ice Blast, as you can see on my left click, and Blizzard on your right click. Iced is so much better than Lightning. I'm telling you, Lightning is really good end game when you are rich, when you got Infinity, when you got just so many good items. But until then, right, the goal, especially as a weaker player, is to freeze your enemy so they can't hurt you. Watch this, right? So, you know, the point is you can either use Ice Blast, or if there's a lot of them, Glacial Spike. It's up to you, personal preference, what you want to do. You know, but you want your enemy to not even hurt you. So kind of freeze them, static, right, move back. I'm pretty much naked, by the way. Static, move back, use your Blizzard, and you kill them. It's going to be a lot harder for you to do, of course. Obviously, it's going to be a lot harder for you to do. But the point is, freeze all the minions. In the situation where there's a few minions, you're going to want to use Ice Blast here, okay? Because it's way stronger. However, it only freezes one. It does freeze them for a lot longer, though. So you got to think about that. Glacial Spike, it freezes multiple enemies, so AoE damage. But, you know, it's a very short time. So ask yourself, like somewhere like the Chaos Sanctuary, blah, 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 you would want to freeze a lot. Ice Blast, I like to use because I just need to freeze one, especially like in Dario or something, but it's really up to you. All right, so for Act 3, how do you kill Mephisto? So there's 2 options. You can go up to Mephisto and fight him, but obviously you said you're having troubles. That's why you're watching this video. So you don't need to go up and fight him necessarily. What I like to do is go alone without my mercenary, slow him down first, like that with Ice Blast or something. All right, static him. All right, but if you feel like you're gonna die, then just ignore static. But I like the static. Kind of lure him in. You want to trap him either right here where I'm standing, or you want to trap him right here. It really doesn't matter. Get out of his vision, okay? And try to avoid getting too far, like how I just got hit with Hydras. Sometimes you get hit with Hydras, sometimes you won't. But anyways, the important thing is Mephisto can no longer hurt me. Look at that. He's trapped, right? So just keep using Blizzard and Ice Blast like this. Blizzard, Ice Blast, Blizzard, Ice Blast, like that, right? Amazing. And so you just keep doing this. If you can do it at a higher player count, great. You do not want to sacrifice speed for killing him, right? You don't want it to barely move and take you 10 minutes to kill him one time. You want to do like players 3, players 5, something like whatever you can handle that's reasonably fast, and just keep doing these runs over and over with a good amount of magic find. That ledge trip is amazing. I always recommend Mephisto over Indariel, but again, if you can't get to Mephisto in Nightmare, then I would say, you know, go ahead and do Indariel, just grind out Indariel. So let's look at my skills. Again, Blizzard right here is everything. You do not want to run Lightning. If you want to be smart, I would recommend maybe like Fireball or something as a mix, right? So get Firebolt, Fireball. I don't need to on this character. I'm kind of past that stage, but you can get some Fireball because you're not gonna be able to kill everything once you start getting into Hell. But before that, you know, you can definitely just run the Blizzard. So you want to get Blizzard and all its synergies. Ice Bolt, Ice Blast, Glacial Spike. You can see that at the bottom. So Ice Bolt, Ice Blast, Glacial Spike. Get a couple into Cold Mastery. You don't need a whole lot of Cold Mastery. I'm not wearing all my gear, so normally this would say about 100%. 100% is kind of the goal there. You don't need to get past 100%, but definitely focus on the Blizzard. Now, eventually, right, let's just say that you've maxed out, you don't have anything else to use your synergy points in, go with Frozen Orb, okay? Frozen Orb, you're not going to use Frozen Orb, but as you can see, it helps out some of the other things in this game. I like to help that out because it'll make my Ice Bolt damage stronger, which just kind of makes everything stronger in general, which is, yeah, it's a good thing to have. So thank you for making it to the end of this video. I hope this helps you. The reason I wanted to make it more of like a sorcerer's build, kind of tips for the sorcerers, because that's what everybody plays, especially early ladder, and that's how you get rich, and you know, then you can get so much wealth for your other characters because your sorcerers got so much. You can start having fun with other builds. But definitely, if you enjoyed this video, let me know, give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that, guys. If for some reason you're not getting my videos, it's probably because of YouTube. Unfortunately, when you subscribe to me, you also have to click the bell and say that you actually want to see my videos. You have to go to click that bell, go to enable all. It's ridiculous, but that's just the way YouTube has become. Subscribing does nothing. Subscribing makes it so you occasionally see my videos. So if you want to see all the videos, make sure that bell is set to all. I love every single one of you, man. Give me that hashtag thank you. Hashtag thank you. That just lets me know that you made it all the way to the end of the video, and so I will take your comment more seriously than the others and make sure to respond to that. Hashtag thank you. I love every single one of you, man. I will be playing a lot of PoE this weekend because they have a ladder reset, which is known as a season, and so definitely don't worry, there'll be a Diablo video coming out at least weekly until Diablo 2 resets. I love you guys. Peace the fuck out. Later.